Oh, there we go. We're back. Man. We are live, you guys. We are live. We are live. We are live. Let me finish. Let me go ahead and bring this over. Make sure we good. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, man. And we're live, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Winner's Diet Show. I am your host, Project Mac, aka Mac Solomon. Man, welcome back, you guys. Happy Friday. Man, just had a great productive morning. Had my morning coffee. It's been great, man. I'm feeling good today. So I hope you guys are enjoying the start to your weekend. I know the holidays are coming up next week. So it's gonna be a jam-packed week next week. And I hope everybody's just doing well. I hope everybody has gotten their Christmas shopping out the way, avoiding those chaotic holiday lines and malls and just everything going on. So yeah, man. We here though, man. We here. Like I said, just had a great productive meeting this morning. Um, 2026 is going to look like a very great year, man. It's going to look like a very impactful year. So I'm excited to see what happens um, within the next couple of weeks. So I'm just excited, man. I think sometimes when because I've been through a lot, man. The last I would say last 2 years, I've been through a lot of adversity, mentally, physically, financially, just the whole nine, man. And when you have hope, man, when you get certain blessings or just certain opportunities that can change your life for the better, um, it just gives you more hope. You know, it gives you more of a reason to continue to go harder and push past any type of limitations that are in your favor. So again, a couple years ago, I was going through the worst time of my life financially, physically, emotionally, and every year, things have gone up and down, but that's just how life is. But I think now I'm getting to a space where the pieces and puzzles are finally starting to come together. And it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see. And I turned 30 last year. Last year I turned 30, and I told myself entering my 30s, I don't want to have to go through the same types of things I went through in my 20s. I don't want to have to go through the same repeat cycle of, the same routine I was doing, the same letdowns I was receiving. I didn't want to have to go through that in my 30s. And I'm not saying that you're never going to be let down as you get older, but not to the extent that I was, right? I didn't want to have to go through the same turmoil or the same issue I was going through throughout my 20s, in my 30s. So that was one thing that I vowed to myself to never happen. And you get certain opportunities, man, that you feel like is going to take you to that next level, and it just makes you feel good, man. It makes you feel like everything that you've been working on and working for, praying about, is paying off. And that's where I'm at right now with everything. you know that's where I'm at right now with everything. So I'm just going to continue to strive harder, go as hard as I can the rest of this year and into next year, set myself up for a good 2026, and really just, man, turn things up to the level I know I can turn it up to, you know. And the same thing can happen for you guys, man. Like, do not put limitations on yourself. Do not be in the same position you were in last year and the years prior. Like, every year you have to be working to get better. Every year you have to be working to get in a new situation. Better body, better emotional regulation, better financially, or just working towards that. You can't be in the same position that you're in last year or this year. It just doesn't make any sense. To me, that is more of a regression than progression, right? Like you want to take steps forward. Taking steps back is just, you're not doing yourself a favor to put yourself in the best position to win. So every year, man, you got to be looking to move forward. New steps every year, new steps forward, new accomplishments, new tasks that you can use to get to the next level. Like learn a new skill, have a different network. Like things have to be evolving every single year. Because if you're not evolving, you're dying. Like 50 Cent had a great chapter in his book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. He talked about, hey, look, man, if you're not evolving, you're dying. Evolve or die. He talked about how Lloyd Banks, one of his artists in G Unit, he said that he didn't want to evolve into today's time. He didn't want to post on social media. He didn't want to put himself out there. He thought it was still the early 2000s where social media wasn't really a thing. And he was like, that was one of the reasons why he never got to the level that he should have. He wasn't open to evolving. He wasn't open to putting himself in a different situation to grow, and that can be applied to anybody's life. You have to be able to put yourself in new positions to grow, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's out of your normality, right? Even if it's out of your comfort zone. You got to be evolving every single year. The person I was 6 months ago isn't the same person I am today. Because 6 months ago, I didn't look at certain things the same way. A year ago, I didn't look at things the same way. But 6 months ago, I'm not saying I'm a completely different person, but I am different than where I was this time in July, June. I just am. Or May, for what it was. I think it was May. Yeah. The same person I was in May, I'm not the same person I am today in December, going into 2026. And I hope, for my benefit, going into 2026, by the summertime, I have a new mindset, a growth mindset, that I'm not thinking the same way as I was. SK-8559. Listen, bro, I can't read that, man. I don't know what type of language that is. So if it's not going to be in English, stop commenting on that shit. Stop commenting. If it's not in English, bro, I don't know what the hell that is. Japanese, Korean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what country you're from, but if it's not in English, man, yeah, I can't read that, bro. Anyway, man, we got a great show today, man. We got a great show today lined up for you guys today. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and tapping in. Please, before we get into it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you guys about 5 seconds to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Did you guys hit that like button? Did you guys hit that subscribe button? All right. Let's get into today's show, man. Today's show, we are talking about studies show working out makes you a better husband. So that will be towards the end of the show, okay? But before that, we have our first 2 segments of the show. The first segment is the Fit Report. We are reporting on fitness news, things happening in the fitness industry. And then we'll be segueing into our second segment, What the Fitness, basically reacting to trendy fitness videos, winner's diet focus videos, and just giving my reaction and opinions on that. And then we have the main event. The main event today, man, we were talking about how studies show working out makes you a better husband. So make sure you guys stick around towards the 50-minute mark for that. If not, then just watch the playback, man. But before we get into it, If you guys are looking to start your body off right in the new year, if you guys are looking to lose body fat and build muscle, make sure you guys get my free 7-day fat loss guide where I break down realistically how you can lose body fat, build muscle in 7 days. In just 7 days, I'm teaching you guys, and we're giving you access to nutrition guides, workout guides, the mentality it takes to lose body fat and build muscle. So if you guys are stuck where you are, if you don't know what to do as far as how do I get myself back in shape, how do I lose this stubborn belly fat, man, just tap in with my free 7-day fat loss guide. You can get it here. The link is in the chat, or you can go to winnersdietclub.com and get that. All right. All right, man. Without further ado, man, let's get into it. The first article here talks about how, one sec, let me cancel out of this. Here's how swearing can make you physically effing stronger. All right, so if you've been looking for an excuse to swear like a sailor, this is it. New research suggests that letting loose with a string of expletives can give your body a surprising edge, helping you tap into hidden reserves of strength and endurance when the pressure is on. Swearing is literally a calorie neutral, drug free, low cost, readily available tool at our disposal for when we need a boost in performance, Dr. Richard Stevens, the study's leader author, said in a statement. In the study, Stevens and his colleagues ran 2 experiments involving 192 participants. In each experiment, the participants performed a chair push-up, supporting their body weight on their arms while repeating either a swear word or a neutral word every 2 seconds. After completing the push-up challenges, participants answered a series of questions about their mental state during the task. The questions measured things like how much positive emotion they felt, how funny they found the situation, how distracted they were, and how confident they felt in themselves. The researchers were particularly interested in variables linked to disinhibition, a psychological state in which people are less likely to hold themselves back. They also measured the psychological flow, the state in which people become fully absorbed in an activity in a focused and enjoyable way, often described as being in the zone. The results were loud and clear. Those who swore while doing the chair, those who swore while doing the chair push-up were able to support their body weight significantly longer than those who repeated a neutral word in both experiments. The findings add to a growing body of research that shows swearing can enhance physical performance. Stevens has been studying this phenomenon for years. In a 2018 study, he found that cyclists who repeated a swear word saw an 8% increase in grip strength and a 4.5% boost in power output compared with those repeating a neutral word. Let's read the last bit here. Other researchers have found similar performance gains from cursing during exercises such as wall sits, traditional push-ups, and plank holds. Wow. Okay, so as you guys can see here, if you guys want to push past your limits when you guys are working out, start cursing, man. Start swearing. That's the best way to do it. And I can see how that works, because you want to feel like there's no mental barrier when you're working out. And a lot of us really don't know that we're doing this when we're working out. A lot of us don't realize that just cursing and letting shit out actually makes you a lot stronger than you normally are, you know? And I've noticed that when I've been working out, I've noticed that when I'm doing heavy lifts, if I let out a crazy, the F bomb or the SH, I noticed that my lifts usually go a little bit harder. Um, so yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting to see, man. Next time you work out, try it out. Try it out. See if it really works. Now don't say it too loud to the point where you get kicked out the gym, right? But say too loud enough where you feel like you can push past yourself, push past your limits, and really lift that heavy ass weight. So this could work when you're doing squats, bench press, deadlifts, push-ups, whatever the case is. If you whatever whatever hard lift that you feel like is the most challenging for you, just try it out one day. Like just let out an F bomb, man. See how that goes. Let out an F bomb and see if you can lift that heavy ass weight. See if you can hit a PR with an F bomb. You might get crazy looks, you might get crazy stares around it. People might look at you like something's wrong with you, but hey, man, you just hit your PR, so that's a win. Anyway, try it out, man. You never know what can happen. All right, let's move on to the next article here. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Speaking of exercises, this article says how many push-ups every man should be able to do. This article says push-ups are a basic test of strength, discipline, and overall fitness. Every man should aim for a number that reflects consistency, not ego. What matters is building the capacity to perform clean, controlled reps that show real progress. Start from your current level and improve week by week. Strength is earned through patience and repetition. Set a target, stay accountable, and raise your standard every single month. All right, so let's take a look at how many push-ups every man should be able to do. So push-up standards by age 20 to 29, below average, less than 16, average 16 to 29, good 30 to 39, excellent 40 plus. So I'm guessing this is in a row, by the way. And then we got the ages 30 and up. This is my club, below average, less than 11, average 12 to 24, good 25 to 34, excellent 35 plus. And as you guys see here, as you get older, it goes down. So ages 40 to 49, below average is less than 9, average 10 to 20, good 21 to 28, excellent 29 plus. And then 50 we have here, below average less than 8, average 9 to 17, good 18 to 25, excellent 26 plus. Okay, so as you guys can see here, man, ages 20 to 29 and 30 to 39 are like a man's peak strength, right? So I would say 25 to like 40 is like your peak strength. So obviously the bar is up for these two age ranges. So you should be able to do a good amount of push-ups, man, if you're in your 20s up until before you're 40. Like you should have no problem knocking out 30 to 40 in a row without stopping. So if you can't do that, well, then you guys have a lot of work to do, man. You guys have a lot of work to do. You got to work on your strength. The reason why a lot of guys can't do push-ups is because they don't do push-ups. So it comes down to a foundational thing. Like a lot of people's foundation when it comes to strength is not great. Sure, they can, they want to bench more, they want to squat more, they want to deadlift more, but the basic fundamentals are not there. Like your knees still cave in when you squat, your ankles still come out, or your legs still go wide when you squat down. Your deadlift technique is not great. Your bench technique is not great. So all this comes down to is you just don't have the fundamental strength when it comes to body weight. Like you need to add in more calisthenics to your routine. So more walking lunges that could be done during a warm up, more single leg squats, more hamstring exercises, more push-ups, more dips. A lot of people don't know, if you actually train your triceps, you'll be able to lift a lot more when it comes to bench. Right? So our triceps are a synergist muscle when it comes to pushing things. right? When it comes to our chest press and dips, like our triceps are the secondary muscle that's being worked. So a lot of people just focus on their chest when it comes to trying to increase their bench press, trying to increase their push up, um, trying to increase their push up ability. But you really need to be working on your triceps as well, like isolating your triceps. So in order to grow your triceps, you need to isolate your triceps. So one of the best exercises to do to growing and gaining strength in your triceps, do a skull crusher. So laying back on a bench press, having weight, having the bar, or you can use two dumbbells above your head, keeping your elbows in tight, and just going behind your head. So skull crushers are, I think, one of the best exercises to grow your triceps and gain strength in your triceps because it's all tricep isolation. It's all tricep isolation. So you're putting a lot of pressure on those triceps, isolating those tricep heads, and yeah, you will gain a lot of strength doing skull crushers. So I would suggest the easy bar for that. Um, Dumbbells are cool too, but the easy bar I think is way more efficient to gaining strength in that sense. All right. We got one more article here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. What do we have next here? One second, one second. All right, here we go. Chipotle is back in the news. So it says Chipotle is launching a new high protein menu on December 23rd. So that's next week. Mark your calendar. Chipotle first ever high protein menu drops December 23rd in the US and Canada. Prices start at $3.50. Okay. So bowls, burritos, tacos, salads, and the high protein cup with 15 to 81 grams of protein, perfect for protein focused and GLP-1 friendly eating. Highlights: double high protein, 81 grams, high protein, high fiber bowl, 46 grams, high protein, low calorie salad, 36 grams, double high protein burrito, 79 grams, high protein cup, 32 grams, a double chicken taco, 15 grams. This is funny. Let's look at the comments. So my extra scoop is going to be $1 million. More protein bros arriving. Yeah, that will drive in more of the gym bros for sure. So you want double scoop? That'll be an extra $10. Yeah, it's called double meat and double beans. $25 bowls. Yeah, man. Chipotle right now is getting desperate. They're losing their core customers because the quality has gone down significantly and the price has gone up. And let's be honest, man, they give you attitude when you ask for an extra scoop of protein, an extra scoop of chicken, right? They literally give you attitudes. Hey, can I have just a little bit more protein? They look at you like you asked for their social security number. Like it's insane, man. So Chipotle really is they're trying to rebrand because, man, if they keep up the nonsense that they've been doing the last couple years, Chipotle is going to find themselves like a lot of these fast food places, shutting down locations, going out of business, because they are trying to keep up with inflation. And I get it. But at the same time, you have to understand who your core audience is or your core target market, you know. So the quality has gone down. Not to mention the stores are losing the stores are dirty, man. I'll be honest with you. Like I walk into certain Chipotle's and it's just filthy. There's napkins everywhere. There's plates of food on the counters. The counters are not wiped down. It just looks a mess. And before they used to take pride in being a clean, establishment. Now it looks crazy. I walk into a Chipotle, man. I just feel it just doesn't feel clean. And yeah, they have a lot of work to do, man. They have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do when it comes to them just keeping their core audience happy and satisfied. And that comes down to service. That comes down to keeping the establishment clean. So they're dropping the ball on that. And they've dropped the ball on that the last few years. So this is a good start. They're targeting the gym community, which is cool. High protein bowl, like that's a gym community dog whistle. So that's a good thing. You'll definitely get more gym people in there. However, man, they got to do a better job with the customer service, man. They got to do a better job of customer service if they want to keep and retain those customers. Because right now they've been really janky, man. They've been really janky. All right. That is it for the fit report. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's move on to our second segment, What the Fitness. Okay. So let's see what we got here before we get into it. All right, here. So I know right now we are approaching, this is bulking season for a lot of people. And really, it's just an excuse to eat whatever you want and not be judged for it, right? Because everybody's wearing hoodies right now. They're wearing long jackets. So they're not really caring about weight gain at this time of year, right? It's winter, it's colder, the holidays are coming. So nobody's really focused on being really in the best shape possible. So here's a look at what a lot of you guys are gonna look like going into January. Okay. So this is POV. Let me refresh this real quick. Come on. There we go. So here's a POV of you guys doing a weigh-in at the end of your winter quote unquote bulk. Let me turn that off. So here's how you guys look: fat neck, big belly, of course, full. Yeah. Here's how you guys are looking right now. You guys are going to enjoy Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's, eating all the things. Eating all the Christmas pies and food and parties. This is how you guys are going to look right now. And my suggestion is this, man. Enjoy it now. Enjoy yourself, but do not get to a point where you fall off so bad where it's going to be hell trying to get back. Because the people that are really preparing for summer, they've already started a few months ago. if they're serious, but you guys are quote unquote bulking right now. Most of you guys are going to be in that same weight class for the next few months, because it's going to be very hard to get that weight off, man. And if you don't know what you're doing, which most people don't, cutting is going to be a horrible process. So you better know what you're doing. If you're going to put on all that weight, and let's be honest, some of you guys don't even bulk the right way. You guys don't know how to bulk. You guys don't know how to bulk the right way. A lot of you guys just eat whatever you want. You eat pizza, you eat fast food, you're eating hella carbs and cakes and ice cream and desserts, calling it bulking. That's not bulking. That's just you doing what you wanted to do anyway. That's you doing what you wanted to do anyway. So you're not really bulking. You're just eating excess food. You're eating a lot of food just to justify you being a fat ass. That's your idea of bulking. And that's not how bulking is supposed to be. Bulking means you're still in a calorie surplus, but you're still eating healthy food. You're still eating a high protein diet. You're eating a high carbohydrate. You're eating your carbohydrates, but it's complex carbohydrates that digest better. Sweet potatoes, rice, quinoa, right? So you bulking doesn't mean that you're eating pastas and simple carbohydrates with high sodium. Like, that's not what bulking is meant to do. Because when you try to lose that weight, you're just going to be a skinny fat person because you didn't put on any muscle. So you have to not only eat the right way in excess, but you also have to train the right way. Some of you guys don't even train the right way. Some of you guys don't even push yourself to the point where you're trying to get stronger. You're just working out. Okay, cool. You're working out, you're eating in a calorie surplus, but you're not building any muscle. So now when it's time to lose weight and cut down, you still have a high body fat because you're going to cut back on your calories, but the muscle mass is still going to be the same because you haven't built any muscle in that period of you bulking. So you guys got to know how to bulk the right way, man. It's not just about eating as much food as you want. It's not about, just getting bigger, gaining weight just to gain weight. It has to be strategic. Like you have to do it the right way. So I see so many guys bulking and trying to get bigger to cut for the wintertime or cut for the springtime. They want to cut for summertime, but you just don't know how to bulk the right way, man. There's a process to it. There's things that have to be in place. It's not just about eating food and getting fat. All right, man, let's move on to the next article here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, what else we got here? All right, here we go. So this is a funny one. So now we're seeing a lot of shit. Let me refresh this. One second. All right, so we're seeing a lot of celebrities now come out with run clubs, right? And they're trying to. A lot of these celebrities now are trying to rebrand outside of music, or just shape their brand a certain way now to not just be relegated just to music. They want to start to tap into different markets that can reach different people. So now you're seeing a lot of celebrities do run clubs, right? They're pushing health, which is cool. And I have no issue with that. That's a great thing because for a long time, the music industry tends to be very unhealthy as far as just the lifestyle that comes with being in the music industry. And I know this from training a lot of music people in the music industry. They live very unhealthy lifestyles. They're going to bed at 5, 6 a.m., waking up at 2 p.m. the next day, drinking, drugs, fast food, late nights, so they don't live a lifestyle that is conducive or correlated to being healthy, right? It's actually counterproductive to being healthy if you're in the music industry, unless you're already grandfathered in to the point where you create your own schedule and you can move how you want to move. Most guys are going to be relegated to just the late nights and that type of lifestyle. But now you're seeing a lot more celebrities come out pushing fitness, run clubs. They're getting in shape. They're hiring trainers and being serious with that. So you can see Gunna and Diplo. I think Travis Barker had a run club. So now we're seeing a lot more run clubs, and this is going to attract a whole different audience. However, the problem with this is you're seeing more people now get into these things that never worked out on their own. They're just following the trend. And what I don't want this to be is just a trend that you follow because your favorite rapper or favorite artist is doing it or favorite DJ is doing it. So let's take a look at what this guy has to say about the Gunna Run Club.
Imagine you ask your girl all year to come to the gym with you. She like, babe, I'm gonna do it, I got you. She never goes. But Gunna comes to town and has a 5K run, and she pays to go run with Gunna. What would you do, kid? What would you do?
I'm gonna find another girl.
Imagine you ask your girl all year.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Running a 5K without training, that's impressive. Yeah, that's about 3 miles, man. So if you haven't ran, that's gonna be hell. Exactly. If it was females with jeans on pissing me off, damn. Like Drake said, guess I'm not that influential. Guess I'm not the one that's meant for you. Yep. In her defense, she just wanted a little motivation. Let's clap at the fact she did a 5K. Impressive. Well, the boyfriend was the motivation, right? What's the point of him being there? Because clearly she want to run or want to be with someone else. Yeah, man. I'm seeing this a lot, man. Unfortunately, and this kind of ties into today's show as well. If you guys stick around for a little bit, this ties into today's show as well, man. Yeah, the girl is he's been begging his girlfriend to go to the gym all year. She doesn't want to do it, but then let Gunna come to town. Let Gunna come to town, and shout out to Gunna. Let Gunna come to town with his run club, and I think it was like $75. By the way, it was like $75 for Gunna's run club, and you're probably not even running next to him. By the way, he's all the way in the front. He's all the way in the front. You're probably all the way in the back. You're not seeing him. You know, you might not even get to take a picture with him. Um, and I've seen how these things go, man. I get it. Look, $75, but guess what? You could have paid that $75 and gone to the gym. You could have went to a lower end gym if you want to start there. I don't suggest it, but in this case, if you haven't gone in a while, go to a lower end gym. That would have been like 3 months right there. But you want to pay $75 to go run when you don't run just because Gunna is in town. So that's kind of a slap in the face, man. If I was the boyfriend, I would be kind of offended. Um, I will feel a type of way about that because that to me is actually it says more about her than it says about him. You know, it says more about her and how she feels in that relationship than anything. So if I was the boyfriend, man, that's a tough situation to be in, man. Imagine you tell your girl, "Hey, let's go to the gym all year." She says, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." Like now her favorite celebrity comes to town and she pays to go. That would be crazy. I would feel, oh man, that would be insane for me to say, bro. I would be like, "Excuse me?" That would be crazy. That would be the craziest thing I've ever seen. I hope you guys are not in relationships like this. I really hope you aren't, man, because this is oh, whew, boy, that is a major red flag. That is major disrespect. Imagine if the roles were reversed. She wanted you to go do something for her all year. You've said no, 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 no. Let a female artist that he likes come to town. Let Rihanna or Lotto or let Cardi B come to town and she has something and he does it. He pays money to do the same exact thing she's been begging him to do all year and he pays money for it. Do you know how crazy that will look? Man, we got to have more standards, man. We got to have better standards in this situation. Like we have to demand more respect for ourselves. This is a major disrespectful. This is major disrespect. And he doesn't even see the problem with this. That is insane. Can we take a look at this again, please? Like, I want y'all to really understand how disrespectful this
The
really
gym
is.
with you. She like, babe, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I got you. She never goes. But Gunna comes to town and has a 5K run, and she pays to go run with Gunna. What would you do, kid? What would you do?
I'm gonna find another girl.
Imagine you ask your girl all year to come to the gym with you.
But look, man, as you can see, this dude, he isn't in the best shape. So he probably doesn't have the best self-esteem. You know, he doesn't really have the abundance mindset. He you know, I don't know, man. It looks like he's in the gym, or he says he goes to the gym. I guess he's trying to lose weight or just get in better shape. But as you can see, man, he clearly doesn't have the respect he needs for himself, and you can tell through his body. So and look, man, this is why I say, bro, being in shape is very important. Being in shape is very important because when you are busting your ass in the gym, when you are eating right, when you're drinking a lot of water and getting enough rest and just repeating that cycle over and over again, and you're building that discipline, you're not going to tolerate disrespect from anybody. Disrespect is going to be a one strikeout policy, and that goes for anybody. That can go for family, that can go for your girlfriend, that can go for your friends. because you've put yourself through the most traumatic experience with getting your body together. Because working out is very traumatic. It can be very traumatic to your body because it changes your body. And anything that's going to change you drastically, anything that is going to change your life is going to come with some level of trauma. So you're not busting your ass. You're not putting in all this work to be disrespected by anybody. Like, you can't let that happen. I sure as hell don't tolerate that because I know where I've come from. I know the type of shit I've been through. And this is not just fitness, about fitness. This is just life, period. When you've been through shit, when you've gone through adversity, when you've gone through trials and tribulations, you're not going to tolerate disrespect. Once you become a new version of yourself, once you see where you can take your life to, you're not going to tolerate any bullshit or fuckery from anybody. So to me in this situation, that will be grounds, man, because it's like you're not even trying to improve yourself. You're not working out, you're not trying to get in better shape. Like, this is grounds for this isn't going to work because I can't even be with anybody that doesn't work out consistently. I'm not saying you got to be a gym mommy or gym girly, but at the same time, you have to take care of yourself. You can't be fat. You can't be out here not caring about your body because that says a lot about you more than it says about me. And the way you look, it reflects on me. Your standards become my standards because we're in a relationship, right? We're in a situation where both of us are held to a certain standard. But most guys don't have abundance, man. Most guys don't have any respect for themselves to demand more. And it's sad to see, man. It's sad to see. And then you want to go online and talk about it. That's just crazy to me. There's certain things you keep to yourself, man. If that's happening in your household or in your relationship, that's some shit you got to keep to yourself. Don't even bring it to the internet because now you look crazy for even allowing this shit to happen. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, some people are not going to get it until it's too late, and that's fine. But if you're someone that's busting your ass in the gym every single day, you're not tolerating disrespect from anybody, bruh. You just worked too hard to get there. And I hope that you have developed a level of self-esteem and confidence in yourself to the point where if disrespect is presented to you, you do not tolerate it. All right, man. Let's move on to the last article or last video here. Shout out to everybody in here. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you. All right, we have a pastor here. We have a pastor here who has advice for single women. Ladies, you're probably not gonna like this, but sometimes we have to hear uncomfortable truths. So let's take a look at what this Dallas pastor, Texas pastor, I don't know what city he's in, that has to say about women being single. Let's take a look.
The advice for young single women who want to be married and feel as though they're being passed over. The advice is there are many things that you can do. The chief thing, of course, being trusting the Lord and making the desires of your heart known to the Lord in prayer.
God, trust God.
God, I eagerly desire to be a wife and a mother. If it be your will, would you send me a husband? That's pivotal. Being in a good local church where there are godly men, asking your father to help, talking to the elders to see if they might know of a single man who might be a compatible suitor. All those things.
A lot of this advice is kind of outdated, but let's keep going.
Here's another piece of advice, and people don't like it. This is the kind of thing that your Benjamin Glaser would lose his ever-loving mind, and everybody, this will probably get clipped out and will go viral all again, right? Run it back, right? 2 for 2. Here's another thing. Lose 20 to 30 pounds. Here's the advice for young single women who want to be married.
Now that advice is not outdated. That is sound, concrete advice right there. That's what we're not telling a women to do. Because I know, look, man, there's women out there. They're like, man, how do I find a man? And I'm looking for a husband, and I'm looking for my person. That's great. You should feel like that. But sometimes we have to take a self evaluation on ourselves. Is the man that we're asking for, is the man that we want, and this could be for men too, right? The woman that you want, but is the person that you're asking for or commanding, do you meet the requirements to get that person? Because let's be honest, the average person is 20 to 30 pounds overweight. So you cannot be demanding a high caliber person. You cannot be demanding a person who is the best version of themselves if you yourself are not the best version of yourself. You cannot be a woman that's 20, 30 pounds overweight, demanding a man that is 6'4" with 6% body fat, making $1 million a second. You can't do it. Fellas, you cannot command a woman that is in peak shape, everything you want body-wise, feminine, worships you like a god, bows down to your feet, but you don't make enough money. You got a fat ass neck, big ass sausage finger, big ass fingers, big ass belly, your breath stink. You cannot command that person. It just doesn't make sense. You're not the best version of yourself. So in order for us to get the best version of somebody else, we have to be the best version of ourselves. This is not relationship advice, by the way. This is just logic. This is just logic. I'm not here as a relationship coach. That's not my lane. But if we're speaking from a logical standpoint, this just makes total sense. A lot of times we shoot out of our league. We're aiming for some shit that we're not prepared for. That's just in life. A lot of us want shit we're not qualified for. And no one's faulting you on wanting it. But sometimes you got to step back and face reality. Can you ask the question to yourself, am I the person that deserves this? Am I a person that can command what I'm asking for? If the answer is no, then you have a lot of work to do, and that's okay. That's okay. But it starts with you first, man. If you're overweight and if you're out of shape, if you're overweight, the first thing you want to do, the first thing you should do is lose some weight. Get in the best shape possible. Let's just start there. That's always the first thing to do because that's the one thing you can control is your weight. The one thing you can control is the amount of food you put in your body, your calorie intake. That's the one thing you can control. So let's start there. Everything else will take care of itself as you go along, but your body has to be the first thing you start with. You want to make a lot of money? Let's start. How does your body look? You want to get into a relationship? How does your body look? You want to network with better people? How does your body look? Your body is the first thing they will see. Your body is the first thing that represents you as a person. So shout out to that pastor for speaking some sense into these ladies. Because a lot of times they get bad advice from their friends. Their friends don't want to tell them the truth. And sometimes, man, it takes uncomfortable conversations to make you want to change. All right, man, let's get to it. We are at the 50-minute mark. Shout out to everybody in here. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys get my free 7-day fat loss guide. You can get that at winnersdietclub.com. We break down how to lose body fat, build muscle in 7 days. So we're giving you the keys to nutrition, workout plans, and the mindset that comes with losing body fat, and building muscle at the same damn time. All right. So make sure you guys get that at winnersdietclub.com. All right, man. The main event today, the topic of the day, we are talking about how studies show how working out makes you a better husband. Okay. So, when I think we've been covering this shit all pretty much all show. We've already showed examples on how studies show that working out makes you a better husband or quote unquote partner. So let's take a look at this article here that explains why that is. All right, here we go. So scientists confirmed men who workout are 73% better husbands. Naturally, I had to look into it for science, of course. Turns out it's legit. So if you need an excuse to hit the gym, here it is. Send this to your girl as proof. It's not just a workout, it's your husband's training. I thought they would have a study behind it, but I guess not. But here's the thing, man. When we look at things like working out and relationships, um, both of these things we've just seen from the data. When you add in working out as a couple and physical activity, that can only produce positive effects in any situation that you're in, whether in a business, whether in a relationship. It doesn't really matter because these things, it does more for you than not, right? So when you talk about physical training, getting in shape, working out, it only affects your confidence, your mood, your habits, consistency, motivation, everything that it takes to not only one run a successful business, but also run a successful relationship, man. And I know a lot of couples that are fit, and they tend to do better than couples that do not work out. It's just proven. It's just in the data. They're happier. They're more stable. They have more structure. When that is the core foundation to your relationship, it makes sticking to things a lot easier, right? And one thing that I've noticed with people is that people that don't work out, people that do not have a sense of delayed gratification or instant gratification, rather, people that don't have a sense of instant gratification, they tend to stick with things a lot longer, right? Just because it's you built up discipline, right? If you don't work out and if you don't have any type of consistency or structure in your life, you're going to be like, it's going to be easier for you to quit things. It's going to be easier for you to step away from things when they get tough. And we see this a lot in marriages, relationships. It all comes into the same playing field. So here's some scientific points about training together in relationships. Studies find that couples who exercise together report higher daily relationship satisfaction, right? So I'll say it again. Studies that find that couples who exercise together report higher daily relationship satisfaction. They feel more positive mood and connectedness on days they work out together. Experience better quality interactions overall when workouts are shared. So we all hear the term, couples who train together stay together. That is true to a very large degree because when you are working out together, endorphins are released. There's better self-esteem. There's better mood regulation. There's more confidence. There's just better stability overall in the relationship. So this is why training together, whether you are in the same gym or working out at different gyms, just training overall is just going to be more of a benefit to your relationship than not. And we all know exercise improves your mood, confidence, stress management. So this can show up in relationships. You guys are going through a lot of issues. The way you handle it is going to be different than people that don't work out because there's no outlet. When you have no outlet, you tend to go into other self-destructive habits like drinking, like drugs, like going out, like, and that tends to put relationships at risk because you don't feel good after these things happen, right? Gambling is another one, right? So you have different outlets that guys use, that people use in relationships when things are not going in their favor. So it's important to have fitness as the core focus in your relationship. So it's not just about vanity, man. Fitness isn't just about looking good. Fitness is about having physical capital, right? It's about just the overall aspect of how you feel, how you look, how you go about your day, right? How you handle certain things. Like everything just is everything is just easier when you're working out. You just handle things better. And it makes intimacy better, right? You guys have better intimacy, you guys have better connection. And if you guys decide to have kids, those habits are going to get passed down to your kids, and your kids are going to see that in that household. So overall, man, it's just a positive aspect to have. And I'm not saying that just because you work out in your relationship, it's not gonna you're never gonna break up. I know plenty of people that break up that work out a ton. However, you have more of a likelihood to stay together because you work out than people that don't work out. So it does play a bigger role in relationship longevity, and it's going to make you a better husband at that, right? Because of the discipline that you develop in the process. And your wife or your spouse is going to see that, man. They're going to see how disciplined you are, and that is another form of respect, which is huge in any type of relationship. There has to be a respect factor there. There has to be a situation where she knows your habits are predictable, not in a sense where it's she's bored of it, but she knows that you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. to go train, and you're gonna eat a certain way, and the habits that you have are gonna be a certain way. Like there has to be predictability in that sense. And it just makes more structure, it makes more of a stronger bond, it creates more respect, and that's all you want as someone that's, I hope, is in charge of the relationship, right? As the leader. So um there's more benefits to it, man, but that's kind of how it makes you just a better husband overall. You set the example for your kids, for the woman that you're with, and just people overall have more respect for you overall. So the way they interact with you is going to be different than someone that's not in shape, right? They're going to have a different interaction. It may not be better, but it's going to be different. Someone that's in shape, that has a good body fat percentage, that has muscle mass, compared to someone that has a pot belly, that has a double chin, there's going to be a vast difference in those interactions with different people. And it's just how it goes. You know, I don't make the rules. It's just nature. It's biology. It's how humans interact with each other. We are attracted to attractive people. You know, we pay more attention to attractive people. And when you're attractive, 9 times out of 10, you're in great shape most of the time. All right. So that's been today's show. I got to get up out of here, but thank you to everybody that tapped in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys again next week. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll tap in soon. Peace.